Good morning, team. Happy Monday. How's it going, traders? We got ourselves an interesting day here. No news, huge gap up, no retracement, just kind of floating up here. Might be an interesting trading day. Let me mark off our session highs and lows. Gonna be a fun one. We have a big week this week with FOMC and lots of earnings, big stuff. Good morning, good morning. Buenos dias. So since we have this huge gap up here, I don't see a big reason for it to totally just dump all the way back down. I think if it holds above this Asia low, we still could get some upside. Lots of positive news coming out with supposedly rate cuts happening on Wednesday. I think there's a reason that it could continue to float up. So I don't want to be totally bearish, but I'm also not going to take a long up here. So for me, it's probably going to be kind of a scalp kind of day, not looking to hold runners unless it just starts to dump and we do get a pullback. But some possible spots for a pullback to enter long. We have VWAP here, which is also at that London low. So if there's a little bit of a liquidity grab in this area, that would be a long that I'd be watching for. And then obviously Asia low, liquidity grab, some possible scalp opportunities right there. If it does start to hold below that level, then we could go for the gap fill for sure. But I'm not leaning towards that right now. Kind of feels like it could just continue to float up. Good morning, good morning. Let's see what we get. So no news today. Let me refresh and just make sure no speakers jumped up. No, just Trump having a meeting, but that's later tonight. Tomorrow's when the fun starts. And then obviously Wednesday. It'll be interesting to see how tomorrow goes. I kind of wonder if it's going to be a little bit choppy with the market waiting for FOMC. Wednesday is going to be a big day with FOMC and then earnings, Meta, Microsoft, some big earnings. But that's later in the day, so that'll probably affect the markets on Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when the fun for the week begins. I'm curious what you guys think. What are you leaning towards today? You think we're just going to keep floating up and make new all-time highs? Or do you think we're going down to fill that gap? What are your thoughts? Yeah, still waiting. So game plan is honestly just going to be patient and see how the market opens. If we get a pullback to this London low area, which is right at VWAP, that might be a possible liquidity grab bounce. And then obviously Asia low might be a good liquidity grab bounce opportunity. I'm not really looking for shorts unless we start to hold below this, then we might fill that gap. But I don't see a reason for this to just dump all the way down unless news comes out, honestly. It seems like it could just continue to float up. But again, just going to be patient and see what the market gives us. Jason, no thinky, reacty. Yep. That's kind of my plan for today too. Usually I have some really clear levels and a game plan for like, if it comes here, then I'll do that. But today kind of floating up in the clouds. Just got to see what comes. That's an interesting stat, Joe Leary. 70% historically gaps fill on Mondays. That would be a long way for it to go down, though. That'd be nice. It would make things a little bit easier to trade. But I'm not really going to count on it. We got a lot of possible bullish news on Wednesday. I shouldn't say a lot, but supposedly rate cuts coming on Wednesday. So I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps going up. I anchor VWAP. So this blue one is just at the session. That's the typical like indicator that is anchored from the Sunday night open. This green one is anchored at the high, the all-time high. So a lot of times I'll anchor it at the high of day if I'm looking for a momentum shift for longs. Right now it's kind of just chopping around that. And then I always anchor it at the New York open. So right at the 9:30 Eastern candle on the 1 minute chart, I'll anchor it there too. Why not hit 30K? Why not? Yeah, that's honestly kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like, it's just gonna float up. There's no reason for this thing to go down right now, in my opinion. Unless Trump comes out and tweets something about how him and China are not coming to a trade agreement or something like that. I feel like it would have to be news that would bring this thing down, but I could be wrong. Fully prepared to be wrong. Not going to take a trade immediately anyway. Three minutes. Let's see what the market gives us. I do have these little red dots at some possible liquidity grab spots. Asia low and London low. London low sitting near VWAP. So if we get a little bounce wick below and then a reclaim of VWAP, that could be a decent long opportunity. Verisat might take the week off. Not a bad idea. This week could be a little bit hectic, a little crazy. This has definitely been the biggest earnings week yet since earnings kind of started back up. I got some big names this week. Yeah, that's probably smart, Waffles. I feel that. Not risking the fundeds. No trade is also a trade. My goal is to stay patient today because don't really have a super clear game plan being up here out in the middle of nowhere. All right, market's open. Kind of as I suspected, no reason for this thing to go down. Jeez. I was hoping for a pullback though. No such luck. Goodness. Jumped up and grabbed that London high liquidity. Normally, on a regular day, that would be a great short opportunity, but I've learned my lesson way too many times not to short all-time highs, so I'm not taking that one. This thing's just gonna blast off to the moon. Let's go. If you guys haven't already, go hit that like button. This might be a good day to just do a duck race after we watch the market open and see no opportunities. Yeah, Chitramus, that's, like I said, normally that's a great setup. Like liquidity grab, short, even just for a quick scalp, but I'm too scared for that for lots of reasons. That was minute 2 of the open, plus all-time highs. There ain't no way I'm shorting that. No way. Well, it is rejecting from that high. Kind of just chopping around a little bit. Where are we headed? Start to draw some of our opening range candles. This is our New York anchored VWAP. So far, this is our 15-minute low and 15-minute high, but these are going to change fast. Interesting open. It's like the market's trying to process what in the world is going on. All right, are we going to get that pullback down to VWAP or London low? Let's go, let's go. VWAP for me is sitting at about 786. And then London low 768. Coming on down. So that London high rejection, that liquidity grab would have been a great trade. I was too scared. I didn't do it. I do have the volume profile marked off too from the overnight session. So there's a high volume node right here at 790-ish. Really, there's not a super clear direction on this. Not given too many hints. It's coming back up to that New York VWAP. and breaking right through it. I was wondering if we were going to retest it and come back down. Doesn't look like it. Man. Looking at the 5-minute chart. Man. Yeah, Maverick, that's actually good awareness. If you kind of feel yourself, like you can physically feel like the anxiety if your shoulders kind of get tense and like your heart rate increases. Like, man, I'm just searching for a trade. That's good awareness to like take your hands off the mouse. Take a couple deep breaths. You want to click buttons? Go turn on like a poker game or something. All right, let's see if it comes back down to VWAP now. Nope. I thought we were going to pull back a little bit. There we go. There we go. I'm still thinking longs, but can't take a long just way up there. All I can hope for is a pullback. Give us an opportunity to enter at a better price. Yeah, G-Man, I was noticing that. I didn't know if it was just me and my settings, but everyone has changed to their at names. It looks different. Oh, really? That's weird. I didn't change anything. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to look later today and see if I clicked a button or something weird. I didn't do anything though, that I know of. All right, it's coming up to VWAP, starting to reject a little bit. The New York anchored VWAP. Let's see if it does pull back. I'd love to possibly tick along here at 789, or if it doesn't show, it's going to bounce there. Watch this London low area. Kind of just wishful thinking at this point, because it is just going up. We do have our 15-minute opening range set here in a couple seconds. Not that it's given us a whole lot of information. I do really like 15-minute opening range fake breakout trades. So thinking on that, having it look like it's going to wick outside the bottom of the range, bounce off of VWAP, and then go back up. That would be the scenario that I'm waiting for right now. If it comes back down. Lots of wicks on this open. Looks like a short-term high or low. I don't know. Looks like a whole lot of indecision to me. We're kind of creating this high volume node that it's holding above right here. It might just blast off from here. Yeah, no good entry for long or short. This isn't even, I mean, I'm not claiming that I'm a good scalper, but I wouldn't even say this is good for scalping. If you try to scalp this, you might blow an account just because it's all over the place. There's not really momentum in any one direction. You're kind of just guessing and taking a 50-50 chance if you try to scalp this. Come on back down to that range low. Bounce off of VWAP. And then I'll try a long. Let's go. Yeah, I feel that, Maverick. I feel like today might be kind of a tricky day, or they're trying to play tricks, which is why I'm just waiting for levels to hit, waiting for confirmation. Staying patient, because this is ugly right now. VWAP is sitting at about 791. Coming back down. Let's go. Who in the chat's trading this stuff? Anyone actually making money right now? If you are, you have a strategy that I don't know about, or you're really lucky. So now it's below this high volume node. Is it going to keep chopping around? Or are we going to actually get some continuation here? Somebody's made 1.2 million so far. Let's go. Said something about gold. What's gold doing? Yeah, I have an alert set down here that's actually coming down to a decent support level. Gold's pretty choppy too. Still stuck in this range. We'll see if we can break it. There's really no sign of sellers. I really think this thing is just going to continue to float up. I was hoping it would come down to VWAP though. I'm not sure we'll get it. G-Man got in long. Let's go. Yeah, I was thinking about it with these wicks on the 5-minute. I was thinking like once it held that New York anchored VWAP, could have taken a long. And I guess with the range being so small, you could have even put your stop loss all the way down at the bottom of the range just with a small position and then just ride this thing up because it looks like it might be a slow grind up kind of day. I debated. I guess I was just trying to wait for that pullback to VWAP that never came. I wonder if it's actually going to blast off in whichever direction it decides to go, or if it's kind of going to be choppy most of the day. Looking at the Mag 7 over here, everything is up big. So I'm surprised that NQ is not moving more. Yeah, that's what I was kind of watching, Waffles. So I was definitely leaning towards longs. It just never gave me the entry I was watching for. Gold has orders all the way down to 4K? Dang. That's a long way down. continuing to inch its way up there. $111 people watching, 44 likes. Where's the love? Show me some love. Cheechamus, good question. If someone else does something different in the chat, I'd love to hear it too. But I just have it in my watch list over here on the right side of my screen. I kind of just watch in general if they are up or down. All right, well, making our way back to the top of the range. Normally, I like I said before, the scalp fake breakout to the upside or outside of the range and then reversal, but I'm not shorting all-time highs. That strategy is not going to happen today. Never gave me that pullback I was looking for. Slow grind up today. That's what's going to happen, I guess. Well, at least I was right. I do feel good about that. Like at the open, I was really thinking we weren't going to get a short down to gap fill. Well, I'm right so far. A lot can happen. It's only 30 minutes into the open. But it kind of just felt like it was going to be a slow grind up kind of day. That's what we're getting so far. Well, I just got that alert on gold that I was talking about. Came down to that level. See if it bounces there. Nice little double bottom, or if it just keeps going down to that 4K level you guys were talking about. There she goes. So it chopped around here for a good 30 minutes or so. Blew everyone's account, and now the continuation is gonna happen. So at this point, now that we're getting some continuation up, might look for a retest of New York anchored VWAP, or, I mean, this session VWAP is all the way down at the range low. I don't know if we'll get that, but that would be a good long opportunity. Or if it comes back down here. I'm not going to chase this though. Could be a no trade day for me, and I'm okay with that. Not super comfortable trading all-time highs. Is gold getting a bounce at that level? Oh, dang, look at that. That would have been a nice little scalp. Dang it. Very nice, very nice. Did anyone take a long there? I'm guessing it'll continue down. It definitely looks like short's the play, but that would have been a decent little scalp. And Q's coming back down to that opening range high and retesting it. See if it comes a little bit lower down to VWAP. What a way to start a Monday, you guys. All-time high, massive gap up, no signs of pulling back. Goodness. And I'm guessing most of this is based on the fact that rate cuts are expected on Wednesday. Can you imagine how much of a massive dump there would be if they don't cut rates? Oh, that would be pure chaos. We might go back down to 24K if that happens. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just kind of laughing about the possibility of what if. That would be wild. All right. Gold continuation down. Is it coming down to 4K? Let's see. I'll set an alert there. Man, that thing got heavy. There's the momentum trade right there. Just hop on a short, ride it down. NQ has no such momentum. It's just chopping, chopping, chopping. This didn't even officially come down to the 15-minute opening range high and retest that. Jeez. Zero pullbacks. All right, there's a little retest. Come on down to this New York anchor view up. Let's see. 839. I'm gonna come down there. Zero pullback means something isn't right. I think it's just expectations of rate cuts and stuff. And no negative news to bring it down. No, there's no news being released today. So the market's not waiting for anything other than FOMC on Wednesday, really. That we know of, yeah. Trump is preparing his tweet right now. I think the China tariff stuff, the deadline is like November 1st, right? Or the tariffs go into effect on November 1st, something like that. And they're supposed to meet on October 30th. So in addition to all the FOMC and stuff that we have going on, we also have that. Lots of stuff right now. Well, I was watching for this level at like 840. If it pulls back to the New York anchored VWAP. If it gets down there, I'll enter. That's what I'm watching for. What does our point of control look like? Oh, that's interesting. Point of control is right there too. If we ever get down there, that would be a good spot to enter. I have a limit order set at 25,840. Don't know if we'll ever get down there. Yeah, I know there was some meeting with Japan, but that's not until tonight at like 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So is he traveling to Japan right now, maybe? Or is he actually there already? I have a limit order set down here. If we ever get there, I'll be in a long. Nope, no trades for me yet. I kept waiting for a bigger pullback than we were ever getting. I was hoping for it to come back to VWAP and it never did. And now, same thing might happen. Waiting for it to come back down to New York anchored VWAP and point of control area. Not sure if we'll get it though. All right, it hit my order. 838.45 is my average entry. 38.5. I'll put my stop loss right about there. 831. Let's see if it holds. Gonna take off half of my position at the range high and then see if it continues, hold some runners. $300 orders at 4K. Jeez. All right, looks like it's coming down. Stop me out. I'm okay with that trade. I feel like I was patient and waited for it. Next stop would be 15-minute opening range low. See if it bounces down here at 25,796. All right, this is our initial balance high as of now. We still have 10 minutes left. Now it's moving back up. Coming back into the middle of the range and just chopping around again. I'm kind of at a spot where I can make arguments for longs and shorts right now. Which is a sign that I shouldn't take a trade. There's 4K on gold. My alert just went off. That was a pretty quick bounce. I feel like NQ is still going to go back up. I don't know if it's going to come all the way back down to the bottom of the range. My argument for longs was it's sitting right at this value area low and all these wicks down here. Sellers haven't been able to push it past that level. But I already tried that long and it's kind of floating in the middle of the range, so I didn't want to try again. But it looks like it's headed back up. Yeah, that was a good psychological number for gold to bounce at. Doesn't mean it's going to keep going up, but at least a little bounce makes sense. So our initial balance is officially set in about 3 minutes. Let's see if we get any trades off of it. Still just chopping around in the middle of the range, right at point of control. I don't love the idea of shorting all-time high, so I would have much rather have it come down to the bottom of the range and then take a long on the bounce. If it comes back up to the top, I don't want to be shorting up there. Well, my gut was right. Longs were the play, just got wicked out. Should have had a bigger stop loss. NQ got me. Should have given it a little bit more room. Still in the range, yeah, for now. But if this momentum continues, it could break out of this range and just continue up. All right, we have our initial balance now. Looking at some extensions if this thing does continue up. 25,900, 25,950. No stopping this train. Let's see what happens up here at initial balance high. I don't want to short it personally. If it breaks out and then retests, we could possibly take a long off of the initial balance high. Take a continuation trade. Not loving this price action though. If this thing ends up going down from here, then this is just ugly. Because it never even touched the top of the range. Like it's not super clean. Not bouncing from good levels that I have. All right, Waffles, have a great day. There's IB high. Where are we headed from there? Targeting 917. Yep. That's where I have my first extension. 917. With the way things are going though, it might even go higher. No signs of weakness at all. See if we get a little bit of a pullback. Might be able to find a spot for a long. That's kind of been the story of the day though. It's not pulling back, right? Tricky day, tricky day. It's just hovering right there at an balance high. There she goes, coming up to that 917. Verisop trying to short. You're brave. There's no way I'd be wanting to short this thing because every time I try to wait for a pullback to enter long, there's not even pullbacks for that. It's an interesting day. Is gold still going down? It didn't really continue up after that. Oh man. Yeah, I grabbed those orders at 4K, bounced a little bit, then just kept going down. Oh my gosh. What in the heck? If it drops below 39.60, that's a bad sign. That's a pretty big low on the higher time frame. Uh-oh. Isn't that right around the time when I don't remember who, someone made a comment about how everyone should buy gold and it was like all over the news. And then that was pretty much the all-time high and it dropped from there, right? Isn't that the saying? Like once retail figures it out and the news is talking about how you should buy an asset, that's a sign that you should sell or take profits. In fun news, you guys, I hit 5,000 subscribers on my channel this weekend. What the heck? That's exciting. It's been a fun ride. My screen is blurry. Like more blurry than normal? I'm looking at the YouTube stream on a different screen. And I mean, it's not super clear. Like, it's not as clear as I can see it on my computer. But it's still readable. It's not super blurry. Anyone else seeing it super blurry? I'm not sure. Okay. Looks good for some people. Cool. This might be a first for me, guys. I've never had a no trade day, but well, I shouldn't say that. I have had this one. So it's not a no trade day, but I don't see anything a second trade that I'm wanting to take. Because a couple scenarios, if it does pull back to VWAP, I don't know if I would love a long there, because that would technically be a failed auction at that point. Maybe if it comes all the way back down to this VWAP. But I don't know. Even then, this just looks slow. I feel like any trade that I would get in, it would just like inch along and it would be painful. Just consolidating right above IB high. I wonder if it's just going to explode from there. In case you missed the announcement in Discord, you guys, I am doing another Lucid account giveaway. So if you buy a Lucid account, send me a message, a DM with a screenshot showing that you used code Krista. So use my code. For every entry you get, for every purchase, you get an entry into the drawing. And they have a really good sale right now. Their most popular account is the 50K test account, and it's 45% off of that. So it's like $74 for a 50K test account, and there's no activation fee or anything. So that's the total cost. There's also no monthly subscription fee, which is really cool. So you can take as long as you want to pass it. So send me a DM if you do use it, and I'll enter you into the giveaway. It'll be through November 2nd is when it ends. So I'll do the drawing on November 3rd. Maybe it was just a sign that you were getting old, Chichamis. You're like, I can't see. Gotta get your eyes checked. Or learn something new about your internet settings. Man, this whole YouTube live stream thing has been a massive learning experience for me. ChatGTP and I have been good friends figuring out how to do all the settings and stuff. It's been fun. G-Man, if you're waiting for that 917 level, you might just have to set it and forget it. It might take an hour to get up there. That's only like 30 points away. You named your chat GTP Louisa? That's funny. Yeah, we've been good friends lately. It's teaching me a lot. A little IB high retest. Uh-oh. We breaking below it? Oh no. Man, I don't know what. I feel like trigger shy today. I was thinking, like, oh, should I long the bounce off of initial balance high? Didn't take it. There you go, G-Man. Nice trade. Yeah, hindsight's 2020. I was just talking about how maybe I should have taken that long on the bounce off of IB high. I'm glad I didn't. Dang. This is what I'm talking about with not bouncing at clear levels for me, from what I see. I mean, there might be some EMAs or something like that somewhere that I don't have. Now it's holding below that initial balance high. Don't want to short this thing though. The Mag 7 is still all green. Long around 850, yeah. That is VWAP area. Look at all those wicks, even on the 15-minute chart. Let's see if it comes down to here. 848. Yeah, I saw that there's an update. I don't know. I guess I just haven't messed with it. It seems like it's right. I'll deal with it later. Yeah, it definitely needs a major pullback. I doubt that we're going to get it today, though. Possibly tomorrow. People taking profits before FOMC. Maybe even after FOMC. You know, the whole buy the rumor, sell the news thing. So people are expecting rate cuts now, and then once they actually get cut, then they'll take profits. So maybe the dump will happen Wednesday afternoon. I don't know. Not trying to make predictions. Just based on current price action, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen today. Patiently waiting for it to come back down to 849, 848-ish. Maybe. Might just break out and bounce from here. Stuck below that initial balance high still. Kind of starting to make its way down. See if we actually get it. Came down there. It's not looking like it's super bouncy. All right, you guys. I'm going to call it. Not interested in trading this right now. I tried. I feel like I took one good trade and I was patient waiting for others. Could have taken that one, but gonna call it there. We'll try again tomorrow. I'll hang out with you guys in Discord this afternoon too, if any other trades present themselves. But for now, gonna go get some fresh air. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Have a fantastic day. Talk to you later.